Next one. Should people be compensated for dating? I think it was talking about women. Should women be compensated for dating?
You just mad because you ain't my daddy.
You right. I'm kidless.
I'm gonna call your mama. Call mama.
Something that y'all want to be compensated for? Like you feel like you should like be compensated for?
Yeah, if I take you out 3 times.
What you say?
Pussy.
So you feel entitled? I'm finna tell your ass up. You feel entitled?
What if you, even if it's 3 times?
No, like I said, I did earlier. I said I don't have a problem with the conversation. I said don't tell me that. I won't tell you that. I won't say I took you out 3 times. You should fuck me.
What you gonna say?
No, I'm usually gonna fuck after 3 times.
What if she don't?
Oh, you probably cooked.
You gonna leave? You gonna leave?
You fucking cooked.
That's messed up. That's kind of low key telling her. Like it's almost like an ultimatum.
Oh, it's not. It's not.
Yes, it is.
An ultimatum is when I give you one.
But you're not telling her.
You're not telling her.
But it's an ultimatum.
It's not an ultimatum. Ultimatum is when I get what I tell you.
So because you didn't verbally.
I'm not even making you. I'm not even making you choose. See, ultimatum is saying choose this or else.
That's what you're saying.
I'm saying you have the right to do whatever the fuck you want to do.
But if you choose not to give me some pussy.
But if you choose not to do that, now it's on me to make a. Now you made a decision.
You're gonna leave.
I know. You made a decision. Now I'm making a decision.
So it's an ultimatum.
See you later.
It's an ultimatum.
Now,
no, I'm not giving someone an ultimatum. Ultimatum is you're making right now. You have to choose. They don't even know they're in.
They don't know it, but you know they're.
Oh, I don't give a fuck what you.
Look, you know what you're doing, right?
What am I doing?
Playing with words again.
Obligation to compensation.
Obligations.
Going on dates, man.
Regulation. Determination. To save the nation.
Relaxation.
Penetration. What I'm saying is this.
Association.
Nah, don't move your hands.
Meditation.
Like don't move your hands like that.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Don't move your hands like that. Niggas going to hell.
Damn, my head hurts.
Shit.
Okay, so he was saying like as a man feel like he should be compensated, man. I'd be taking you out on dates, spending his money about a 3rd date. I need compensation. So your thoughts on that, man?
Get it?
God damn, why you got to come to me?
How you feel? How you feel about that?
3 dates in.
3 days in, and the end goal was to get sex, and it's obviously probably not gonna happen, or it didn't happen in the time period that you thought it would happen, and you say, hey, I'm not going on another date. Cool, I'm not. Or is he saying like, are you saying like, hey, because that's the wordplay. It's like compensation. Like he's telling her, hey, if you go on this 4th date, I'm getting some ass. Or is he saying like we went on 3 dates, she should be giving me ass?
Right.
She should be giving me ass by the 3rd date.
And if she not, I'm out.
Oh, I think that's fine.
So would you feel like that's an ultimatum?
That's not an ultimatum.
What's the definition of ultimatum?
When you give somebody a choice to choose. It's either this or this.
Well, I don't think that's ultimatum. I thought a definition or ultimatum is like, hey, to go on this 4th date, you have to give me some ass.
Ultimatum is a final demand or statement of terms, the rejection of which will result in retaliation or a breakdown in relations. A final demand or a statement.
Yeah, so if he didn't say that, he just didn't go on another date, then that's not ultimatum. Unless he told her, hey, for us to go on this 4th date,
right,
you need to give me some ass.
Right.
Now that's ultimatum. You either choose one or the other. He just said, hey, we went on 3 dates. Or he just was like, hey, we went on 3 dates, I ain't getting no ass. I'm gone. I ain't got to tell you that. No, you ain't know that. That's what he's saying.
Yep.
Is that right?
I mean, did y'all sit down and have a conversation like, hey, are you dating intentionally or are you just dating the scene or having fun? Or what are you doing?
3 dates, she could be using me to go out to eat. Is that right? So,
I know what ultimatum is. If you was like, hey, you want to hang out, and she says, hey, we only can go to a high class restaurant or we ain't going to dinner. That's ultimatum. Now I have to pick where we got to eat, and it better be high class or we ain't going nowhere.
Ultimatum. Don't think we fucking tonight. That's an ultimatum. When she texts you that or call, or y'all talk on the phone, that's an ultimatum. And you can decide whether you want to continue to date her or not. And guess what most men do? They do it because they be lying anyway.
But that ain't ultimatum.
I don't think that's ultimatum.
That's like just setting ground rules.
Yeah.
That right
ultimatum would be like, let's say, hey,
marry me or I'm leaving.
It was a Space Jam reach, but I was up there.
Now I feel it though. I respect the hustle, but it ain't. That ain't what that is. The ultimatum is you gonna do this or there will be retaliation.
Before
in some
before
form or
I
another.
sleep with you, you need to do X, Y, and Z.
Is that ultimatum?
I think so. Before I give up sex, you have to do X, Y, and Z.
I don't know, because by definition, like the if you don't will result in retaliation. That's what makes it an ultimatum.
They said or end of or
Break
end
down
of
in relations.
And that's the end of relations. If I don't do this, we don't want to be dating no more. That's the end of relations. Relationships,
So
relations.
my account. That's the end of relations because your ass ain't get no relations.
Yeah, I mean, I feel what bro's saying at the end of the day. I don't necessarily feel like he giving an ultimatum. He just moving based on like feel and based on, because let's be honest, by the third date, sex probably should be happening if it's going the way that it's supposed to go.
You're supposed to preserve yourself.
Right? No, which I get, but these women ain't doing that, so that's a mute point. What I'm saying is this, right? Is that if we kicking it, we chopping it up, because there's a lot of conversation that happens before that first date. That first official date. Might have been a couple link-ups, but that's neither here nor there. But what I'm saying is by the third official date, y'all got a decent amount of time in. So in his mind, he feel like sex should be happening. But just like if he's supposed to give it up at the front in terms of the expectations, she's supposed to do the same. Hey, I'm holding out until whatever, or until I feel like it's serious, or until we in a committed relationship or whatever. Now, if she announced that, and you go about it anyway, thinking that you should be able to get different results, then you wrong in that case. But if she don't, and you just going with the flow, and by the third date, if it ain't happening, if you don't feel like the chemistry is there, getting up out of there, I don't see nothing wrong with that. I mean, this situation's just not moving how I thought it would move. You know what I'm saying? It ain't no harm, no foul. We on two different pages. Salute to you. I wish you the best. I don't feel like that's an ultimatum. I feel like that's just, hey, these are, what my standards are. Or these are what my rules are. But again, I also think it should be announced at the door, so it's not no confusion.
That's what I was just about to get into.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because I was going to ask, does that make it tricky? If nobody states their intentions, I think that makes it a lot of gray area.
For sure.
Oh, well, yeah, that's a fact.
Because that happens a lot of times. I think a lot of times people just, kind of infatuated with each other, either looks or just conversation, and they just, feeling up the vibes and seeing where it goes. And so from his point of view, he's like, okay, yeah, we do have a few good vibes or whatever, but I'm expecting by this third date to knock this down.
But he already knew by then that his intentions weren't to be in a relationship. It was to have sex.
Correct.
Wait
what?
a minute.
What?
Okay, so
If you say by the third date he was expecting to knock it down.
that don't mean he doesn't want a relationship. Though.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
But he ends it after the third date because he didn't knock it down.
So that means
he expected to have sex by the third date, which his intentions were to have sex regardless.
Or he feels like at this point you don't feel as strongly as I feel about you. And I'm not sure if I'm willing to keep this thing going if we ain't on the same page in terms of mutual interest. That's how he could be perceiving it. Now, the likelihood of that, I feel like it's low. I feel like if he get up out of that third date, I feel like he's just trying to smash. But there could be a situation because even with women that we have serious intentions for, we still want to have sex. Sex is still a priority. Yeah. But we just way more tolerant of time passing without us having it. But the expectation is still there.
Yeah, but if we're into something or we have a high interest in this woman, we're not going to end it by the third date because we didn't have sex. Because sex is not the only thing that's keeping us around.
I agree with that.
You know what I'm saying? So if that's the case, if we were really interested in this woman and we did expect to have sex, the first day we wanted to have sex with her.
Of course.
But the vibe is just so powerful and we just vibing like together and everything is right. By the third date, I'm not going to end that because we didn't have sex.
But here's the question, because ending it can be a bunch of different things, right? It could be, okay, I'm cold turkey. I don't want to talk to you, no contact, no nothing. Or it could be me just backing up off you a little bit and going to go see what my other options are. Because, again, I don't feel like the interest is mutual. We done been chopping it up. We done went on 3 official dates in public. We done probably kicked it at each other's crib or met up for whatever, just small things. Hey, pull up on me. I'm at this function. It'd been a lot of that type of situation going on. But by that, for a third date, again, men have expectations of sex. That's just real. And if the woman ain't established, hey, sex ain't happening until we in a committed situation, that's a different conversation. But if ain't nothing been established and we just going with the flow, and again, dating history matters, right? Because that's where the expectation comes from. If I done been messing with women or whatever, and the sex typically happens by the third, fourth date, whatever, he gonna have those same expectations even if he like her a lot or not. So at that point, it's like, again, I could choose to quote unquote end things or back up off you at that point because I feel like, damn, we on day 3, 4, and we kicking it, we having a good time. But I don't feel like you as interested in me as I am in you because you ain't set the boundary yet. So again, in my head, I'm thinking we just going with the flow. But you got rules and 90-day rules and shit set up that I don't know about.
She could be, she could be waiting just to see if he one of them.
True.
I mean,
she may have been ready for the 4th date, but now you didn't cut off on the 3rd.
If it's a girl that you're that interested into, I don't think you would just fall back. I think you would have the conversation. Hey, we going about this. 3-4 dates in. What do you see in us going forward? Mm-hmm. If it's something that I really like that, I'm not just gonna say, well, you know what? She obviously not vibing with me like I'm vibing with her. I'm just gonna back off. I'm gonna ask the question. Hey, what's going on? Where are we going from here on out? Mm-hmm. If we never had that conversation, I think that should be addressed. But I mean, y'all have valid points to it being done that way. I'm sure.
I think what he said too is, I think he going cold turkey. I don't think it's backing off.
Right.
Yeah,
okay, now that's a different situation.
Because I think he said off the roster. I think he said something like that.
Right.
You done. Yeah. Now that's a different situation. My nigga say, I'm blocking your number. I'm blocking you on social media. Now that's what I'm saying. That's a little bit egregious. But I mean, like I say, how it typically happens is a man kind of just falls back a little bit, not calling you as much, not texting you as much. Because again, I'm feeling like we here. You feeling like we not. And okay, I don't really know how to play this. So because I'm confused, I'm gonna back off instead. But again, like most men even feel weird, like sitting you down and like asking for the sex because that's what it's gonna feel like.
Three dates in, you were always gonna at least try to make some type of move, whether it be
Of
kissing
course.
or something. And if then it goes, hey, we not doing that, then y'all gonna have that conversation when that happens. You know what I'm saying? So I don't, it's like.
Or let's just say that y'all had that conversation, and then she say, just not right now. Now it's just not a good time. But she ain't really stamped no boundaries. But it's not right now.
Well, that's your fault for not saying. Oh, well, I mean, what's the boundaries? What's your time? What are we looking at here? Like we had to have those honest conversations about sex because it's important in relationships. If you're doing a 90-day rule, or you just have something where, hey, I have to be for sure about having. I mean, cause at the end of the day, you were judged by your pussy and how you manage it.
True.
So you have the right to express how you gonna treat your vagina. It's not mine; it's yours. Mm-hmm. So having that conversation might be tough, but also the woman has to understand that he's just not there for sex, and you got to be able to communicate that. Hey, I'm just not here for sex, but I need to understand where your boundaries at, so I don't cross this and move a certain way about that.
And again, I just want to put the disclaimer out there because. A lot of women feel like just because a man is interested in sex heavily, that he's not interested in you. And I feel like that's not fair. I think most men, 99.99967% want to have the sex with you as soon as possible. Because again, you can never be too sure. You can never be too sure. It's always 1 or 2. What is it? 9 billion people on Earth. It's always 1 or 2 that might. But what I'm saying is this: is that it's a high likelihood that man wants sex from you heavily, early as possible, and that don't mean that he likes you no less. So I'm saying that the man shouldn't be villainized because the 3rd date and he bringing up or he's expressing the importance of sex to him. Doesn't necessarily mean that that's all he's there for. That's all I'm saying. Because a lot of women feel like, man, if you bringing it up as damn, why you so pressed? That's the only reason you here. Nah, he just really wants to have sex with you. And again, it's at that moment to where you establish your boundaries. Now that's not saying, hey, I'm on a 90-day rule, because again, you don't want to give your game plan away, because that's gonna give a man a point on that ladder to climb up.
Nigga checking off that calendar.
Right.
Straight up.
You know what I'm saying?
Day 90, that nigga got a party.
He gonna plan a date on 91.
Right.
He gonna plan an extravagant date.
Right. So in say I ain't taking no chance. I'm pulling out all stops.
Nigga waking up with all kind of music playing.
Balloons, everything.
That's real. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, you need to establish like, hey, I'm moving intentional. I'm not out here just trying to have sex just cause. So when this thing gets to a serious, committed, exclusive fashion, then we can have that conversation. But as of right now, this is not exclusive. This is not serious. We just dating, we kicking it, and that's not what I'm on. I'm not that kind of girl. If you establish that, then it's like, all right, the boundaries are set. The man know what to, you know what I'm saying? Okay, I know what I'm signing up for. But if you're not saying those things and you just, not right now. I mean, I want to, but you know how chicks be doing. Y'all over there kicking it, watching movies. It's at the third. You make your move. She entertained the move for a little minute, and then wait. I don't. Not right now. It's just like, I mean, don't get me wrong. Like you got that right, but that's confusing to a man. Why not just right there, just so we don't go no further and there's no confusion?
Because it feels good to him.
Yeah.
Is it an ultimatum to say? Oh, I'm sorry. I'll go ahead.
No, I'm just saying because you'll be in situations where you doing some things.
Right.
You're not going all the way,
Mm-hmm.
but it's going to be some touching and kissing and rubbing, and a few pieces of clothing may come off. And then it's, no, I don't care. I think we should stop right here. It's
Right.
like, oh, boy, I'm like, this nigga, Lord, and I'm supposed to stop?
With no explanation. That's the problem, in my opinion.
But does she have to explain?
No, but what I'm saying is that if you want us to stay on the same page, it will behoove you to tell the man why. Because if you don't, then he feel like, okay, well, she just playing games. Like, what is this?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm about to back up out the spot. I ain't sure. She playing games. She ain't trying to tell me what it is. You know what I'm saying? So it's that. And I ain't say you got to give the explanation right there. Mm-hmm. But, maybe the next day, hey, I know things got a little, hectic last night, but look, this is my intention. The reason I don't want to do it is because I done ran into this situation before where it wasn't exclusive and blah, blah, blah. I just want to make sure that we headed towards the right path. I want to be exclusive. I want to be, so you giving the man, okay, you right.
Ultimatum?
I am.
Make sure. No, it ain't. Well,
Is it ultimatum? You can't get these cheeks until I'm your girlfriend.
Ish.
It might be. Maybe now I'm thinking about it. According to definition. But again, the intent is not malicious. It's just I'm establishing my boundaries. I don't feel like establishing your boundaries is giving somebody an ultimatum.
I do like you. I'm feeling you. I like what we have going.
Right.
I just don't want to mess things up.
Right.
I don't want to rush into it just a little too soon. I feel that.
That's all I'm saying.